What's up with it, man? It's White Boy Lockdown Radio. It's the White Boy with the mic. Welcome back to all my subscribers. If it's your first time here, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. Join Team Whitey. Over here, we're the ones making Waldo high. So go ahead and smash the subscribe button. If you're not new here, demolish that like button. Hit it with an elbow, slap it, drop kick it, and man, check out, buy the subscribe. There's a little join members video. It's free to watch. Check it out. A long time ago, I've had JD on this channel a lot. Okay, if you're new to this channel and you don't know who JD is, I'm gonna call him shortly, and we can come back and continue his story. It's a good friend of mine that grew up in the prison system. He got sentenced to 10 years. All right, and you know, he's not from Florida. He grew up here. We had got into something in the dorm when I first met him. We had got into something, and just to recap, I'll put the video in the end screen so you can watch that. But just to recap, he got into it with this blood over the window. He opened windows open and shut, and the dude called him out, and JD hits the wall. The blood hits the wall, and I strap up because I see this dude bald head sitting right, like, way too close to him. You know, they're squared up, and this dude like runs up to the first bunk. So I strap up and I run up there to get my bros back. And by the time I got there, dude's got a lock and a sock holding it. Right? Thank God we didn't have to go through it with the bloods this time. And that situation got deflected. Okay, the police saw it, bang on the window, came in, whatever. But you know, that dude Baldhead is what this story is going to be about. That dude Baldhead was the type of dude where if you were in a dorm with him, you want to keep your eyes on him. He had a lot of time. He had over 10 years. He had done a lot of his time in a JIT camp. And at the JIT camp, he was head blood at the JIT camp. But when he transferred to Holmes, there had already been somebody with more rank, whatever. You know, however the structure goes with bloods, all I knew is he was a blood, and he really was living like that. I don't like bloods. I went through a lot with them dudes, but this dude was living like that. He was bumping, man. And up until this point, I've heard his name. His name is making its way around the prison. I never seen him chunk hands before. The only time I seen any kind of conflict or whatever was when I went through with him and his brother with JD. Okay, but the dude is about $165. He's not like a big dude, right? He's got a calisthenic build to him. He was not a big guy, but you know, he's known for hands, cutting people, firing people up with lock. I mean, the dude really was living like that. So I want to tell you about a story about when him and this GD got into it, right? And I want to explain like the politics of fighting in prison, okay? So in this story, there was another guy from a JIT camp. His name was Big JIT. Okay, look, I don't make the nicknames. I know how it sounds. Ballhead versus Big JIT. I get it. And they're two black dudes, right? But this dude, Big JIT, he had done time at the same JIT camp, and this dude was repping GD. Okay, I had heard that they went through it in a war at the JIT camp before. I don't know if there's animosity or what, but this dude Big JIT, his name was Big JIT for a reason. The dude was like literally about 250 pounds. I have no idea how he got that big because there's no weights. There's no weights in the adult prisons in Florida. And I'm pretty sure that there's zero at the JIT camps. The dude was big. If he didn't go to prison, the dude should have been a running back. I mean, he was diesel, all right? And he had a buttload of time. I think he had 20 or better. So with the GDs, man, I don't know how it is everywhere, but here in Florida, they can have boys. It's weird, man. But not all GDs, right? I don't want to just say that crap on them or whatever, but it's weird because some GDs, they're not on that at all. You know, there is no like having a boy, but like other ones, like you can have a boy. It's just it's strange, right? So we're talking about the GDs and the bloods. You know, that is a blood. You can't go down like that. That's an automatic violation to the fullest. Okay, but I have seen. I thought a blood that messed with a boys in the earlier videos. But anyway, so in Florida they have something called inspection, man. So what it is you'll have the master sarge and a few COs walk around from dorm to dorm, right? And they have like a little piece of paper and they grade the dorm. Right, every week they do this, so it's on the houseman to get the dorm all the way right. And they're looking at the bathroom area to make sure that it's mopped and clean, all the bunk beds, you know, the military fold you have to have in the sheets. They're looking at the day room, all this stuff, right? And they want to see your boots and your shoes placed properly. So the dorm that has all that together is going to go on top of the list, right? And it's like a privilege that they give you. So they walk around all the dorms, and the cleanest dorm is going to go to chow first for the whole week, to rec first for the whole week, you know, to canteen first for the whole week. And if your dorm was ratchet or it's caveman status, you know, you could end up even losing rec. All right. So that's what was going on with our dorm in this story. So they're calling canteen, and we would have normally never went to canteen with the other dorm that was out there. They got 2 windows, and they're calling 5 at a time. You know, window here, 2 massive lines, and 5 walk up to the window. Most people just swiping the card, this and that, but you know, it somehow Ballhead and Big Jit, I don't know exactly what was said, but there's a falling out, there's some type of disrespect somehow, some way, you know, in the line, you know. So all I hear is, man, we're gonna run it, I'm gonna slide, you know. So of course I'm on point. I'm like, all right, man, I want to see what this dude's hand's about, you know what I mean? And we get back to the dorm, and the bloods immediately start conjugating, man, politicking amongst themselves real quick. You know, I'm putting my stuff away at the time. I was buying like 3 to 5 days worth of stuff when I hit the window. I never ever, my whole time locked up, kept a big locker full of stuff. I never did that unless I came up on a football pool or was hustling and got it off the land. I never go swipe my card and have a big locker. So I'm putting my stuff away, and I see all the bloods in the dorm. They're all strapping up, right? You know, Big Jit and the GDs come by. You know, they're about 6 deep, 5-6 deep. They slide in the dorm and immediately start politicking with the bloods. And there's tension. Like, you know, I'm putting the stuff away, and this is going down like so fast. You know, it's tension, man, because when you live in a dorm, you know everybody in the dorm. It's an open bay dorm. Like, it's hard not to look. You're in prison. You watch everything, but you got all these other dudes from different dorms. It's 2 gangs, man. You know what I mean? So they politic right quick. Remember, man, Ballhead's $165. Maybe he's 170. All right. The other dude's 250 pounds. You're looking at almost a 100-pound difference. So immediately, you know, there's the no grabbing is getting talked about up there. No grabbing. You know, which is what I want to talk about this video, man. I always used to get hit with this, okay? You know, in prison, if when it comes to if it's just a neutron type of thing, if it's like 2 people that are non-affiliated, and you go up there and hit that wall, you got a grid, it's pretty much anything goes. It's pretty much anything goes. Body slams, all types of stuff, headlocks, seen it all. It's anything goes because it's just what it is. But when it's gang affiliated, right? Man, it's very political. Okay, I've told stories about this. I told. You got to go back in the very beginning videos where I had to step to the heads and stuff when I had a problem because there's gang related. I have to ask for the green light so I don't get jumped. Then I have to hope that, like with blind faith, that they're not going to still scheme on me. Okay, but they used to hit me. Okay, this video says don't hurt him, Big Matt. It was hard. It's hard, It's hard. Like the dude told me, yeah, you got the green light, go in there and fight him, but man, don't really hurt him. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I've never had a fight like that in my life. Have you? So it's crazy that these rules, right? So they're conjugating, and the Bloods are like, hey man, ain't no grabbing, and they're getting aggressive because the other GDs are in there. Not even the one that's fighting, the other ones. They're getting aggressive. Everybody wants to let their nuts hang, and it just went down real quick. And they slid the bunks over, and man, they just got in there. All you hear is the, I can't do the squeak sounds, but man, Ballhead he's fast as lightning, man. He had power too. Big Jit. I mean, he's throwing good haymakers because he's got size, he's got power too. Dude's strong as an ox, and but Ballhead kept dropping. This dude is big, man, and he's real big. And what was crazy is you would think me telling you this story that the bigger dude, right, would be the aggressor, okay, would be the one to be like, when they got in the grid, will be the one just going at them, right? But there's a thing here in Florida, man. It's called a sidestep, right? It's a type of fighting, not a stance, but it's a way to fight. Okay, this is a weird thing, right? I had to get accustomed to it, right? Fighting in prison. If you were to square off with somebody on the street, you guys are going to handle your business, right? In prison, man, there's a sidestep. It's like the best way I could describe this is it's like a defensive way of fighting. Okay, Big Jit kept dropping this dude. All right, but Baldhead was hitting them. He was getting in there and getting his hits. And I'm not gonna say they were Tinkerbells or nothing. He was leaning them. But Big Jit, when they start scrapping, he throws his setup. And it's a sidestep. He just waits on it, so he's not throwing them fast. He's got a setup, and Ballhead squared up with him. And as soon as Ballhead throws that first punch, bam! It's like okay. Instead of calling it a sidestep, it's it's just a dodge, man. It's a dodge, and then you lean on. So someone's throwing something at you, you're leaning it, and you're leaning it, and you're using that momentum, bam, to come back. All the jits do it, man. It's huge in jit camps. I was not used to it. I got tagged big time fighting these jitterbugs because that's what they do. They know you're going to be aggressive, and it's like they wait on it, man, and they plant it perfect. It was weird because Big Jit was sidestepping Baldhead, and if you could picture what I'm saying, this is somebody that's 250 pounds versus somebody who's $170. Okay, you think they get in the grid and the big dude is the aggressor just dropping it, but he was waiting on Baldhead, and he kept dropping this dude. All right, they both were leaking. It was a straight up gang thing. There was no jumping. But the Blood's starting to get mad. They started to get mad because he kept getting dropped. Ballhead did grab him once. All right. At the end, they were like they were both throwing, and he locked up with them, and the Bloods were like, hey, and they started to go towards him, and Big Jit let him go. Okay, but it was clean. They didn't jump, nothing like that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how it goes in prison, right? Because it was a GD and a Blood, and both them dudes had some yank. Both them dudes had some a name for themselves, and other brothers were in there. Of course, it's going to be political. If Big Jit is not gang related and Ballhead is not gang related, that thing goes totally different. Totally different. Ballhead, man, he'd have got messed up. You know, it's just crazy, man, the way that it goes. But I'll say this, man, the dude Ballhead, the Blood, man, the dude had heart, and he was bumping, man. He was bumping. The Bloods, man, they were plotting. It was at some point I thought that they were gonna jump in, but the GDs have numbers here in Florida in most camps. Every camp is different, so I can't sit here and tell y'all that I can't sit here and say that they're at every camp. I'm sure they are, but maybe there's not enough. I will say Bloods. There's so many Bloods in every single prison in Florida. They have big numbers down here, big numbers, and they play dirty. Man, that fight, it would have went a different way. Absolutely. The dude Ballhead, I finally got to see what he had. I talked to him after that. It wasn't like he was hanging his head low or nothing. And mind you, I had went through it with this dude before, right? We had talked it out in politics ourselves, aside from this story. And I remember telling him, Ballhead, man, I seen you up there, man. You live in Swifty. And he was like, yeah, it's a big ass blah blah, but hey, I give the dude credit, even though he's a scumbag. Man, the political things inside of prison is so hard to explain. When gangs are involved, it is a very, very different outcome. Okay, if I had to get into it with either one of them dudes, all right. If that was me versus Big Jit, okay. If that's me versus Big Jit, we're gonna thump him, right? Or we both can grab and lock up. Why? Because I'm not affiliated, right? So that's just how that goes. If it's me versus Baldhead, I can't grab him either. So now I gotta chunk him with him, right? But the thing about it is, if it was me versus Baldhead, and I'm doing what Big Jit was doing to him, them Bloods are coming in. They're coming in and jumping in. It's crazy how prison is. It's crazy. It was a wild fight. It just shows you the political shit of prison. It's different. It's different in every state, man. I get a lot of comments, this and that. Let me know. Let me know if you've seen something like this, man. Drop it in the comments. This dorm here. Trying to think. This dorm here. From here, I ended up leaving this dorm and getting transferred to a kitchen dorm. This is kind of where me and JD separated, and when I left this dorm, that's when I met the head war and the lieutenant and all that, and I started getting in with the war boys. All right. Baldhead got moved from that dorm to the kitchen dorm, and now there's different Bloods in this dorm, right? and I start probating and stuff like that, and it gets wild, man. But the Bloods in this new dorm are even more grimy, man, and it gets crazy. But me and that dude Baldhead, somehow, some way, it's like we kept following each other from dorm to dorm. It's a crazy thing. But hey, man, it's WHITEBOYRADIO. Been yapping enough. Make sure you smash the like if you ain't done it. Share it. I appreciate y'all. We're almost at 3,000 strong. Let's get this, and stay out, stay safe, and stay solid, man.